We also got some more training camp news happening right now, right? Now, I didn't even want to talk about this training camp news because it involves my dog. It involves my partner, one of my former teammates, all right? One of the good guys. Walls Play Man of the Year. I know that. I speak that language, all right? I'm talking one of the good guys, though. The captain, my captain. Oh, captain. Captain Killer Cam. Killer Cam. Oh. Say it ain't so. My dog said it's time to get some bread. My dog said he wants some of that moolah, baby. You know the rule, man. Got to get the money. Rule number 2, don't forget to get the money. All right? So I got it. I dig it. I understand what is happening. And it was quiet for a while. It was quiet for a while. It's no longer quiet. Shout out to Adam Schefter and company. So, for those that don't know, Adam Schefter reported earlier today that Cam Heyward, the Steelers' all-world D tackle, the guy, has been quietly having a hold in over a desire to receive a new contract. Yes, a year ago he did sign a new contract. That contract at the time was, if I remember correctly, should have been 2 years. Yeah, 2 years, 29 million. He signed it actually September 4th. They said 2024, man, was when that deal got done. Obviously, we know that bumped him right into that 16.5, per year $1 million range. But with that being the case, he's not happy with the situation. So with the contract, man, we obviously know the first year was the guaranteed portion. This year technically isn't guaranteed, but at the same time, it will still pay him around was it $19.5 million? Or excuse me, I said 19.5. Slide back on the 19, $14.5 million. So with the 14.5, he obviously has a 19.5 cap hit this year, on that one. But the $14.5 million that he's scheduled to make this season would place him as the 18th highest paid defensive tackle in the league. Yeah. So with that, Cam has not practiced for the past 2 weeks. He has been out there, but he hasn't fully participated in practice for over 2 weeks or since camp has essentially started. A couple things that we do know about Cam going into, or he just finished up his 14th season, 36 years old, finally, or not finally, but gave us another ultra healthy, super productive season a year ago. Let me make sure I don't do him any disservice when reading off my dog's stats. All right. But last year, man, 71 of them tackles, man. We love that. Came back with the vengeance in terms of get 8 sacks as well, man. And the one thing that I really loved was the fact that he had 20 quarterback hits. That means he is getting to the QB, winning a lot. Pressures matter 1,000%. I want to see you hitting them too, though. 20 QB hits, that takes him back to form, man. Back to, 2022 before he got hurt when he had 23 QB hits, right? 2021, he had 17 QB hits. 2020 had 19 QB hits, right? 2019 had 23 QB hits. So you can see he ain't falling off. He's not slowing down in any capacity. Nah, he got hurt in 2023, and that was the reason why the numbers were so low. But full season, 17 games, 17 starts last year, and you saw him right back in it. But the other thing that I really love about Cam, and I feel like it doesn't get talked about a lot, it doesn't get talked about enough. My man had 11 pass deflections, PBUs, or batted passes at the line of scrimmage. So not only is he hitting the quarterback, not only is he sacking the quarterback, not only is he stopping the run, not only is he providing pressure, but he's also impacting the throwing lanes even when he doesn't get home. Putting the hands up, man. Those are 11 passes that could have been completions for who knows what, right? Whether it's touchdowns, whether it's first downs, whether it's explosive plays, we don't know what those could have been, but 11 of those are a career high for him. Up until that point, the most batted pass he had was 9, and that would have went in 2021. So with that, 11 PBUs or batted passes with the 8 sacks and 12 tackles for losses. Like I said, this guy lives in the backfield, 20 QB hits on top of that. And he was first team all AP, or he's first team AP All Pro, along with, the Pro Bowl as well, man. So with that, I look at him and I'm like, man, well, who are the guys that are getting paid more than Cam right now, right? Because we obviously feel like, man, you can't pay a 36-year-old, right? Because age is age. You just got to count the numbers. Even though that 36-year-old has more production than the 22-year-old, the 23-year-old, the 24-year-old, the 25-year-old, the 26-year-old, the 27-year-old, the 28-year-old, the 29-year-old, the 30-year-old, the 31-year-old, the 32-year-old, the 33-year-old, the 34-year-old, and the 35-year-old. But I get it. You can't pay the 36-year-old. I get it because he's 36. Even though, like I just said, he has more production than the 21-year-old, the 22-year-old, the 23-year-old, the 24-year-old, the 25-year-old, the 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. And when we say, man, is he, because he's older, hey, man, he's going to fall off the cliff. The injury is going to happen. Well, I just told you. 2023 was the year he got hurt, right? He had 11 games, 11 starts. Are you ready for this? He has started in and played in 15 or more games consecutively, going all the way back to 2017. Tell me this injury risk. 2017, 15 starts, 15 games. 2018, 16 starts, 16 games. We just get one, 17. Like I said, 2023 when he got hurt, 11 games, 11 starts, came right back next year. 17 games, 17 starts. Production did not dip in the least bit. So please, I'm just trying to figure out, I know this is what we are conditioned to say, right? And the reason I say we're conditioned to say it because we can't just say that we look at it objectively and say, hey, this situation, this rule, this situation, this rule. No, because this is more of a blanket statement. It's kind of like when you say you don't pay running backs. Well, what about Saquon Barkley, though? Well, what about Derrick Henry, though, right? The outliers. Cam is proven to be an outlier. So to me, when we take these simple mindsets and say, man, yeah, because this is what you do for all of these over here, we're going to do it for the same dude over here in Cam Heyward. I think that sets you up for more failure than not, because the alternative is this. Say Cam decides they're not going to play this year, right? Or, hey, man, get me up out of here. Move me somewhere else. What's your alternative? You want to pay one of these young dudes? Let the young guys go out there and play. I guarantee you will feel the drop off. I guarantee you will feel a big major dip in production, and not just in the run game and the pass game. But I get it. He's 36. That's when we talk about the reasons why we should pay Cam a little bit more versus why we shouldn't pay Cam, the foundation of to me, when I'm looking at the way that most people are going to say why you don't, is largely just going to be because he's 36. There isn't going to be anything other than him being 36 that we're going to point to and say, this is why you don't pay him more. Because when I look at the guys who are getting paid more, are you ready for this? Like I said, right now, where Cam is, 18th highest paid defensive tackle in the NFL. So that's behind Javon Kinlaw. Shout out to Javon Kinlaw, Washington Commanders. Tershawn Wharton over in Carolina with the Panthers, getting 15 mil, right? DeForest Buckner, we know DeForest Buckner, Colts, right? That's 23 mil. Jeez. All right. But we obviously know the way his pay structure is structured. That's why it's a little bit different in terms of how they're paying it out. Jonathan Allen, taking that over Cam, right? He's 30. These are all, granted, these dudes are younger, right? Let's see. Kenny Clark, good player, 28 years old. Ed Oliver, 25. He's also getting paid more. Vita Vea, 25. Oh, no, this is age they were when they signed the contract. Excuse me on that one. That's not where they currently are. Excuse me on that one. But let's keep reading the names off, man. Osa, I'm about to butcher my man's name over in Dallas, man. Adigzowua. There we go. I'm a butcher, but that's how you know it is. All right. Christian Barmore up in New England. Okay. That's another guy. That's the 9th highest paid dude right now in terms of the D tackle, getting 20 mil. Dexter Lawrence, we're familiar with Dexter. Deron Payne, definitely familiar with him. We like his game. We taking him over Cam, though. That's I'm just asking. Just throwing it out there. Jeffrey Simmons. We know we talk about him. Quinnen Williams, Derek Brown, Alim McNeil over in Detroit. Obviously, my man over in Baltimore, Matabuke, and then Chris Jones. So I'm just trying to figure out, when we're throwing out those names, like, man, how many of them on that list that we just named are we saying are nicer than Cam? How many of them dudes are we saying on that list are more productive and more consistent than Cam? How many of them? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm just like, man, we can't pay everybody. And I get that part as well. And that's the part of the salary cap era that we live in right now, right? But at the same time, it's like when you identify the players that do supposed to get paid, you take care of those dudes. That's why we said with TJ Watt, you don't pay every single player. And I'm not one of them dudes who's gonna be up here and be like, hey man, if the player wants to get paid, you pay him right now. No. But certain players is different. TJ Watt is different. Cam Heyward is different. These are your cornerstones of your franchise. These are the cornerstone pieces of your defense. These are the guys that when we say why we feel so confident about our defense, those are the first two names we bringing up. Like, what are we talking about? So that's kind of where I'm at with it. Now, in terms of what you pay him, I'm trying to see, can I get you right at under 19? Can I get you about 19.5? I get you 20. All right. I think that'd be good. Because I know that's what you got to get to. Got to get to that 20 range. I'm with you. So look about 5 more. All right. But to me, I think if you're going to do another version of that 1 year type of thing, I think you make that work. But I think you do it on a 1 year basis, though, because I do agree at 36, you are playing that game of when does father time win? But the flip side is all we know is what we have seen, and we haven't seen him slowing down in terms of Cam. So I think best of both worlds to me would be bumping that number up, getting him in that 20 range, getting him in that range where he looks around and it's more top 10-ish. It doesn't have to be top 5, but get him in that top 10. Maybe he wants to be top 5. If that's the case, all right, we got to figure what that number is. But to me, I think if you can get him in that top 10 range, man, get him some guarantees, that changes a lot. Because, yeah, Cam Heyward should not be going out there playing on some, hey, man, none of this money is guaranteed going into this year. Nah, he's past that stage, man. But to me, I just think that we have seen Cam prove countless times now that he is a dependable, reliable, super productive, super consistent player that shows up, plays through injury, plays when he's healthy. So to me, I'm just like, we figure out what that number needs to be and we find that common ground. I don't think it's something where the Steelers break the bank. It looked like they got done dirty, but at the same time, I don't think it's something where you turn your nose up and say, Cam, you 36. I ain't got time for this. I think that both parties have some valid points, and I think both parties should be able to go ahead and get this thing done before the season hits. But to me, I'm like, yeah, I don't want to say no brainer, but no brainer, man. You make that money work. We talking about a couple of M's, like from where he's at right now to get to where he needs to be. I don't think that's something that we're going to look back on and say, man, I can't believe you paid that man that for this year. No. I think we go ahead and do that for this year. That's how I look at it, man. But you guys let me know in the comment section how you guys feel about Killer Cam and his current contract situation. Is this something where, you support potentially paying Cam, or do you think that, he's too old for another contract? And even though the production has been continuing to be through the roof, we just don't want to do it. Right? It's just not smart. It's not good business practice. Move on from him. Get somebody else. Who cares replace Cam? Maybe you got that approach. But let me know in the comment section. Of course, don't forget to hit the like button one time for the culture and subscribe if you are new to the channel.